Okay, I'm just gonna wait for people to join. So we'll give it a minute or two. Oh, bless me. Okay, I am going to get started in a couple seconds. There we go. Okay, can somebody just let me know in the comments and confirm the audio or the sound for me, please? I'm just gonna find out if my mic is working. Oh, in the meantime, okay, I think we can get started now. Hey, good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to Marketing After Hours. If this is your first time joining, this is our second or my second episode. Thank you for joining. Legal Mpho Chakale. I'm the director, founding director of Brand Communications and author of Brand Butter. I'll leave a link in the comments so you guys can check it out and read it, implement it in your business. Um, if you're building a personal brand, pretty nice tips in there for you. So just have a look and then let me know in a couple months what you think. Would really, really appreciate it. Um, yeah, firstly, thank you for spending a part of your evening with me. You know, you could be joining from your couch, or you're at the dinner table with your family enjoying a nice meal, or pulling an all-nighter, still at the office, pretending to work while you're listening. However it is, appreciate you so much. I'm glad you're here. Um, Before we get started, I also just want to thank everybody who joined the first episode of Marketing After Hours, which was 2 weeks ago. That was the first one actually, and I was rewatching it. I just realized a couple of cringe moments that I had there. But it's part of growing. You show up, you make mistakes, you learn, you come back bigger, better, and stronger. So that's that. Um, so we are going to dive in, but before I do that, I just want to find out from you, if you have a business or you're building a brand, a personal brand, how often is it that you post on social media? It could be any platform. Is it every day? Is it 2 to 3 times a week? Is it only when you remember? Or maybe only when you have something to post? I know I've been guilty of not being consistent with how often I post, be it in my capacity as a business owner or in my personal capacity. Um, but in reference to what I spoke about in the first episode, I'm really trying to, make myself more visible. And, marketing after hours is a little bit of my way of doing that. So I really, really hope it works in just not my favor, but in the favor of those who really need whatever it is that I'll be sharing in these live videos. That said, um, feel free to answer, the question in the comments, and then we can talk about it. Remember, this is not just me talking at you or to you, but it's a conversation. It's an ongoing thing. And that said, we are going to get straight into it. Um, One of the biggest, myths that exists in marketing is the idea that if you post Monday to Sunday, you are bound to magically get customers or clients. And unfortunately, that's not entirely how it works. I'm going to share a couple of reasons why with you in this live video. First one being that posting is not the goal. So a lot of us think that if your page looks very busy with a lot of posts every day, then you're bound to get customers or clients. But while consistency is important, and this is something that was briefly, you know, discussed in the first episode of Marketing After Hours 2 weeks ago, posting is not the goal. So think about it like this. If I ask you right now, what do you actually do? Would someone who's seen your business page be able to answer that confidently and with clarity? Or would they be confused as to what you do and what you offer and how you solve their problems? Because remember, we are not just in business for the fun of it, for to make money. I mean, of course, making money is important, but you start the business to solve people's problems because you saw a gap and you decided to close it. And if that's not the case, then in terms of your post, then you are not marketing, you are just posting, and there's a big difference. Now, we're going to get into the second reason, which is kind of in reference to the first one, which is that when you post every day with no context, no insight, no problem solving, you are just creating content. You are not building trust. And I think it's something we all forget that when you think about it, when was the last time you bought something from a business after seeing one post from them? You can let me know that in the comments and then we can also talk about it. But this goes back to creating content versus building trust. Um, and I will tell you, it's probably never because you need to see the specific business or product or service over and over and over again. And again, I'm not just saying they should be just posting for the sake of, but what I'm implying is that they need to be able to tell you what they do, what they offer, who they offer it to, and how they solve their problems over and over and over again. Eventually, that's how you as a consumer build trust and confidence to be able to purchase from that specific business. So don't get discouraged because we posted yesterday, we posted today. We've been posting for the past couple months, but it's not bringing two customers or three customers. It's not always how marketing works. And that wraps up reason number two. Getting into the third reason, it is because you talk about yourself a lot. So if you go onto these business pages that always look like we offer this and that, we sell one, two, three. We've been in business for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Honestly, people care far more about themselves as consumers and what your product is doing for them than, you know, how long you've been in business or whatever it is that they would be posting about. So basically, as a consumer, you should be asking, can you solve my problem? Can you save me time? Can you make my life easier? So instead of thinking, what do I have to say today on my page in order to get 5 clients in the next couple weeks or months? Ask yourself, what is my ideal customer worrying about today? And that's where your content creation ideas all come from. And that wraps up reason number three, going into the fourth reason. So, kind of in reference to the first reason is that every post needs a purpose. So, like I said, you need to answer what you do, who you're doing it for, how you're helping them, and how you're solving their problems, etc. Not just we do one, two, three, four, and five, and six, and end it at that. Because then, if you're just saying that, they're just gonna think, oh, okay, that's cool, fine, and scroll. But if you talk to them, tell them how you solve the problem, tell them how it's gonna make their life easier, how to save them time, how to save them money, because those are some of the pain points that we have as consumers on a daily basis. Then you're talking to them, and then you get the attention. Like I said in my live video about the attention economy, which happened a couple of weeks ago. Once you get the attention, you need to build the trust, and then that's how you're able to convert. So every post needs to have a purpose behind it. And there's something in marketing called a CTA. That's a call to action. Usually you have it at the end of the post. That should also have a purpose and a meaning behind it. It's not just you telling customers what you do about yourself, who you are, whatever the case may be. Always have a purpose and a call to action at the end of your post. Reason number five, or point number five, um, social media engagement, likes, reactions, comments, thousands and thousands of them. They're actually nice. It looks nice, I will say, but it doesn't, pay all the invoices. And this one, this one actually hurts, kind of hurts because um, we, as business owners, individuals, we've all posted something, or you thought about it and you wrote it out and you designed it or whatever, and it looks nice to you, and then it doesn't get much light. And meanwhile, there are businesses out there that are not putting in much effort, but they seem to be getting much more engagement. So here's what I've learned through experience. There are posts with very few likes that bring in, excuse me, paying clients. Because again, engagement is nice, but at the end of the day, remember the end goal is to bring in the client, help solve their problem. So likes feel good, but clients and customers bring in and pay the bills. Um, so we shouldn't try to confuse, or we shouldn't confuse rather engagement with the growth of the business. Going online is 100% perfect, but that also needs to align with the actual business growth or the actual growth of the business rather. And then going into point number six and the last point for the topic for tonight's live video, your profile is your storefront. So imagine if somebody sees one of your posts today. Could be anyone, um, no specific post. Because again, social media works in a very different, very strict way. There are businesses that have hundreds and thousands of posts on their pages, but it hardly gets seen by anybody. For their posts that will show, others will not. There's a whole algorithm to it. So if I see one of your posts, if a customer sees one of your posts and they're interested, so they click into your profile, what is it that they're going to find? Are they going to find an old logo or no logo at all? Are they going to find a bio that doesn't explain anything or says nothing about you? No contact details, no CTA or call to actions rather. Are they random posts with no context or consistency? Are you posting once a month? Hi there, Tepang. Um, Sorry about that. I will just double check my mic and see what's going on with it. Just confirm for me if the sound is back on, and thank you for joining. Thank you. 100%. Okay. Sound sorted. I just hope there wasn't an issue for too long. Um, but like I was saying, when people click onto your profile, what is it that they find? No content details, random posts, um, content that doesn't really say much, but it's just content. You're posting everything, but you're not saying much. So basically, your profile should convince the person to actually stay on it, and you know, eventually, when they come to a point in their lives when they need your product or service to solve a certain problem that they have at that specific point in time, you need to be the first business or first person or first customer or whatever. You need to come top of mind at that point in time. And that's marketing. It's yes, you need to get the sales. You need to promote yourself and put yourself out there and um, tell people how you solve their problems. But it should not mean that because you started posting 3 months ago and you've been posting consistently and you've been doing it right, that 3 months later you are bound to get the client or the customer. There's really no manual to it, but consistency and being clear and consistent with your messaging is what does the trick most of the time. So that was the sixth and the final reason or point as to why posting every day will not guarantee that you get clients or customers. As a business, as a personal brand, as a company, as a service provider, or so I want to find out from one of you guys or all of you guys, um, you know, do you post every day? How often do you post? If you're in a business or building a personal brand, how does that work out for you? I actually want to share a a very very short story that happened today actually, which is funny because it's very well aligned with what tonight's live video was all about. So going back to um, posting consistently and being clear with your messaging and letting people know how you solve their problems. I got a LinkedIn DM this morning actually from somebody in the legal industry who um, how I could help. Not necessarily how I could help solve this problem, but obviously he knew how because of being, posting about it and letting people know. And it's already out there. It's on my profile, both business and personal. But basically, I received a DM and the person says, I need your services. This is what I need. Um, you know, let's work. Let's see how we can do it. And I feel like I'm telling this story because it basically aligns and, is very well in relation to what we're discussing tonight. So yeah, that's just what it is. Social media is there's no one size fits all manual that's gonna work for every single business out there. You need to find your niche. You need to find your group and then stick to it, be consistent with it, and how it is. So if there are no questions from anybody who has joined, um, I guess then I will leave you guys with a challenge, um, sort of like homework, but not really homework. So before I wrap up my video, um, I want you to sit and think about something before you publish your next post. I need you to ask yourself a couple of questions. What is it that I do? Who am I doing it for? And how am I helping them? And why should they care? Those three questions. What do I do? Who am I doing it for? And why should that person care? Ask yourself those questions, answer them. Whole list of content ideas that you can use for your company social media um, content calendar. So yeah, just think about it and then come back to me, slide into my DMs or whatever the case may be, and let me know that hey, what you spoke about actually helped out because I managed to post one and two and three and four. This is also briefly covered in Brand Budget. So remember, I'm gonna leave a link for you to be able to purchase the book in the comments and then have a look, buy it, read it, and let me know how it helped you. However, if tonight's conversation has given you something to ponder on and think about, I'd really, really appreciate it if you share this, especially who, might need this attention, um, who might need this conversation. A business owner that a friend, a family member, or somebody who's, trying to build their personal brand in their niche. Could be a lawyer, could be in the construction or the finance industry, whatever it is, share it with that person and, direct it to my page and send them brand butter as well and let them know that it's going to help them a lot. And, if there's any other topics that you would like us to discuss in the third and upcoming episode that's coming in 2 weeks' time, drop it in the comments and let me know what it is and then we can have a look at it. Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks from now for marketing after hours for the third episode. Until then, yes, please, Sabang, ask your question, ask away, my lady. Please do. Feel free. Let's see what you have for us.